Okay, you guys, we are live. Welcome back to the channel and happy Hump Day Wednesday. We have made it to the middle of the week. Hopefully, everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday, and I guess we got some stuff to talk about today. I gotta say, Young and the Restless, I'm telling you, it seems like it's one run-on sentence to me. Yeah. So, I mean, I find it very interesting that, hey, Myra, I find it very interesting that this is one continuation day after day after day when it comes to Young and the Restless. Hey, Aisha. Hey, Allison, Melissa, Medora. Hey, you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's your Wednesdays going? And sending out well wishes and prayers, of course, to those that are affected by the hurricane, Helene, the folks in Asheville, North Carolina, and Eastern Tennessee, and Florida, and all on the southeast southern border. And then bracing for Milton coming through as well. So, I want to make sure, we send everybody well wishes. And if some of you guys are in those areas that's in my chat, take care of yourself, protect yourself, get to safety, all of those good things, okay? So, I want to make sure that you guys are all good, you know what I mean? I like to look out for you guys. So, just make sure you stay safe. All right, we got some soap opera business to talk about today. And let me see. Oh, okay, good. I got 25 people in my chat. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Young and the Restless. Pretty interesting day. I honestly liked Sharon case today. And not particularly because of, the storyline. But she got so excited about this date. She got all prettied up, dressed up for Nicholas, and Nicholas showed up at the door like, wow, okay, I feel underdressed. And just you know what, and see, that's the romance part of me. I like to see when folks get excited about dates and things like that. That's why, for those that may not know, besides my soap channel, I also have where I review shows like Love is Blind and Married at First Sight and Love Island and things like that, because that's the romance side of me. So I always like to see that. That dress was gorgeous on Sharon Case. I like the one shoulder out, one, where she got the strap going across the other side. Jacqueline, I agree with you. That dress was gorgeous. I love it too. But I like the excitement about her getting all cutesy, putting on the earrings that Nick had bought for her many years ago. And her daughter was happy to see that she's in a good mood and, really love those types of things, So, yeah, I thought that was cute. And I mean, she was really smizing. I know one thing, and if you've ever watched the show America's Next Top Model with Tyra Banks leading the show, if you guys ever heard Tyra Banks use the term smizing, it's called smizing because you're smiling with your eyes. That's exactly what Sharon was doing across that table with Nicholas. She was being, she wasn't like over the top, but she definitely was doing some heavy flirting, when it comes to having that date with Nick. I thought that was pretty cute, though. And I mean, she was laying on thick, and Nick was sitting up there looking like, what am I supposed to do with that? And I'm like, Nick, you can lean into it a little bit, but hey, you know what? If Nick is not into Sharon like that, that's not going to be good either. Because Sharon looked like she's more into him right now than he is into her. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, no worries, Aisha. Yes, I mean, I've been listening to some of the news clips, especially this craziness that's going on in Asheville, North Carolina. How it's like one way in and one way out. And yeah, I've heard a lot of bad things happening up there. So you guys if you're in that area, please, 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 please stay safe. Aisha, my channel for reviewing the like the dating shows and stuff like that is Romance Review TV. So if you guys are into that type of thing, my other channel on YouTube is Romance Review TV. That is also on Instagram as well. I think I got about 18,000 followers over there. 17 or 18,000 over there as well. And I think I got about 27,000 subscribers on my Romance Review TV channel. Yeah. I mean, I started that channel back in 2020 during, the pandemic and everything. And when everybody was watching reality TV. The problem is that I didn't like the direction where reality TV is going, because they made it more drama filled than, people actually finding love. So there's certain things that I talk about. Like I did the review for Married at First Sight season 18. The matchmaking special came on last night. So I did do a review on my other channel about the matchmaking special. So for those that want to check that out, it's Romance Review TV. All right. Back to the soaps. Yeah, Nicholas was looking kind of like, okay, yeah, well, I'm enjoying this date, but actually I'm on a fact-finding mission, because the moment he brought up her doctor, ooh, she looked like, oh, here we go. But then she, you know what? She answered the question, and she was like, look, y'all worried about me, and I get it. I've done some things that make y'all feel this way, so I need to make sure I get my thoughts back together. You know what I mean? So, I like the conversation. I like her flirting. And then when she was fantasizing, listen, you guys, I was hoping that it was real. When Sharon got back to the house and she was talking that way to Nicholas, and they went into this whole passionate kiss, I'm like, okay, I'm here for that. And then when Cameron was like, hey, cut the crap, I'm like, oh, she was fantasizing. No, I was hoping that they would was actually making out and stuff. So that would have been nice to see Sharon and Nick again. But I guess we'll see. Maybe that was a little bit of a tester for us to see how we react to it. Yep. Ruby says she dresses better than on the show. So sad she's setting herself up. Can't take rejection at this point. Could be dangerous for somebody. I know. That's the thing. Nick only invited her out to dinner just to kind of see where her head is at. Not because he was like having romantic feelings for her. And that was definitely described when Cameron said, did you see that awkward hug he gave you in the driveway? And she was sitting there looking crazy. And she was like, these things take time. These things take time. Let me ask you, because Myra already started it in the chat with her hashtag chic. How many people, yes or no, would like to see Sharon and Nick back together? So how many people would like to see Sharon and Nick back together? Yes, if you want to see them back together, or no, don't put them back together. I want to see what you guys think. I'm going to say, for now, because we haven't seen it in a while, so I'll give it a yes. Let me see. Aisha says yes. Melissa says no. Keita says yes. Crystal says yes. Okay, we're getting a lot of yeses in there. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. They haven't been together for a while. You know what? That's a good point, Cynthia Chain. Yeah, when she gets well. I don't think, like you say, maybe she needs to get back with Nicholas once she get her head on straight. Plus, putting Nick in her vicinity, especially with her being a part of what happened to Heather, that's not going to be good on him. And like Ruby said the same thing later on. But there's somebody else that got an issue with it, and that is Mariah and Tessa. Mariah and Tessa was like, yeah, when they had that conversation with Faith, They was like, I don't think you want them back together. Because Faith was excited. She was like, oh my God, I know I'm grown and whatnot, but it'd be nice to see mom and dad back together. And man, the look on Mariah and Tessa's face was like, well, I don't know about that. And I'm thinking to myself, Mariah and Tessa, y'all had a part to play in a lot of what happened. Well, not a lot, but some of the things that happened in Nick and Sharon's past. So, I mean, maybe that's why you're saying it. But anyway, how are they going to, Jules said, how are they going to redeem her? Listen, so I've been doing a little bit of research. And I'm wondering, let me toss this across to you guys before we move on with the rest of Y&R. Okay? In regards to this whole thing with Sharon, because when Sharon was at the house with Heather, Heather was still alive laying on the floor with Sharon standing above her. There was a blackout, and then Sharon woke up on the couch sleeping, and Heather was bleeding out in the back of the head, right? What if, and I'm just saying what if Daisy is back somehow and she wanted to remove Heather out the way, and maybe Daisy was the one that snuck in, maybe popped Sharon upside the head and knocked her out, and then decided to unalive Heather, and pretty much leaving Sharon to catch the heat for it. What do you guys think about that? That would be a way to redeem Sharon, per se. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about if they did a twist like that? I would be open to that. I wouldn't mind having the girl that played Daisy back. You know what I mean? What do you guys think about that? It's about 65 of you guys in the chat. Y'all getting quiet. Do you think it's possible that... Well, it explains the dump because in Victoria, because Sharon woke up thinking that she did this. Plus, if just say Daisy got out, that leaves her holding the bag. So Sharon had to figure out what to do next. Now, Cameron is saying you did this, but remember, Cameron is not a separate entity that watched this whole thing happen. Cameron is a figment of her imagination. So Cameron's only talking out what Sharon is thinking. That would be a twist if, well, I mean, that's possible too, Jules, if she woke up and it was all a dream. But, I mean, it would be a really fun twist if Young and the Restless somehow had Daisy responsible for this. Take Heather out because she wants access back to her daughter Lucy and Daniel. But at the same time, leaving it up to Sharon to take the heat for it. You know what I mean? So I think that would be an interesting twist if they was to do that. Now, that's not a spoiler. So I don't want y'all going out here talking about Soap Corner T over at Soap Corner Talk said that Daisy was coming back. No. I'm saying if that was a twist, how would y'all like it? Because there's got to be a reason why, she blacked out. Why did they give us a blackout scene? And she woke up on the couch, turn over, because when she was still awake, meaning Sharon, she had woke up and was still alive. When Sharon blacked out and woke up on the couch, Heather was gone. So, yep. Hey, Melissa Spencer, you are correct. 26 likes in this chat. Come on, you guys. Hit the like button. Support the channel. Thank you very, very much. All right, moving on. I just wanted to throw that out there with you guys. So we also had a visit from Chance, which I absolutely love the fact that he's back on the police force. And Chance decided to pay Lucy and Daniel a visit. Now, remember, I got to mention in regards to Sharon and Cameron, Cameron is consistently, which of course is in her head, trying to tell Sharon, call the police and notify them of the evidence. And Sharon is trying to convince herself that they're going to find the evidence anyway. And in my opinion, I think maybe she should just let them find it. Because whoever is calling to say that the evidence is there, that's going to take it off of Daniel. Because how would that other person know that the evidence is there unless they put it there or they live there? And we know the only people that live in that house now is Lucy and Daniel. So it would be stupid for Sharon to call, the police station and say, hey, I think you need to check out the evidence over at Daniel's place. That's dumb. Yeah. Wait a minute, what about Sharon throwing in the water? Well, Sharon would do that because she don't want to be held to being the person that, she threw in the water, yes. But if somebody else, took out Heather and left her there with Sharon still there, not knowing what happened, it's going to look like Sharon did it. So, of course, Sharon is like, you know what? I'm going to get rid of the evidence. Now, she could go down for something, or else they'll say, well, you didn't do it, but you could have called somebody. She could get some accountability for that, too. So I think I see where you guys are coming from. All right. But looked like Chance was trying to ask questions. And remember, you guys, when myself and Bree, and I think even on the podcast, we was talking about how the tower pinging, right? And the signals. Well, we got an answer to that because Chance told Daniel the last time the phone pinged was at his house. And that whoever had the phone, they had to block the, the location or whatever. I guess there's an app or something to block the location so that, they couldn't track where the cell tower picked up the last, signal to that phone. So that throw all of the theories that we had right out the door. Yep. So, Melissa, I believe it. That's what, because I saw the preview. I thought I saw a preview of Chance walking Daniel out the door. So, yeah, I thought that was in the Friday promo last week for this week. So, yeah, I could see that could be a possibility. Other news on this particular episode, we had Mariah and Tessa looking for a new nanny. They decided to ask Claire. Claire's not so sure. Okay, that was a filler scene to me. Because they made it look like, oh my God, we got bigger problems. They don't have a nanny. I mean, that could be a problem for parents, of course. But in this particular episode, it was just a filler scene to me. I really don't have a lot to say about that, except the fact that, when she went back to her parents, Victoria is talking about, well, that job you've been waiting for to work with your grandmother might be available sooner than you think. I'm like, when? Billy ain't going nowhere. Phyllis and Billy are still over at Chancellor, so I don't know what you're talking about, Victoria. They ain't nowhere closer than they was getting that company, 2 months ago when this started in August? So, I mean, I know, Jan, boring story with Claire and her job choice. That was a filler scene. I'm like, what was the purpose of that? Now, granted, obviously, people need work. So, Cameron Grimes and I forgot the other actress that played Tessa, they getting paid to show up to work, okay? So I can't knock them for getting a paycheck. But I'm like, you could have did something else with a storyline for that. I know, Gail, Nina is not going to be happy that Chance is back on the force. I don't want Claire to be the nanny position. I prefer her to go to work too, Jacqueline. I just didn't like Victoria talking about, oh yeah, that job is going to be available sooner than you think. Girl, please. Victor does not own Chancellor as of yet. So don't give that girl false hope. I mean, go find a job working over at Jabot or something. Now, that would be a twist. That would piss Victor off so much if Claire was to go work for Jabot. His granddaughter said, you know what, I need a job and you don't have one available, so let me go work for Jabot. Boy, that would be a crack up and a half. Oh, Kate Fairbanks. Thank you. That's her name. Thanks, Cheryl. So, and then even that scene between Cole and Victoria where, she's talking about, oh, I'm moving slow. I don't want to get hurt again. I'm like, girl, let me see. You have 1, 2, 3. You got 4 kids and 3 dads. And, I mean, granted, she said she has poor choice in men, and Cole was like, I want to be that man to show you that I need to be. I don't think Victoria likes nice guys. Victoria likes toxic. She likes the excitement. Billy was exciting, and Ashlyn Locke was this dangerous, money mogul. Victoria likes toxic. And Cole is that nice guy who is going to be nice to her and take care of her. That's why I honestly believe she's too reserved. She likes the dark side when it comes to men. You going to get hurt. Girl, you almost 50 years old. And I get it, folks don't want to be hurt, but you should know by now what's good for you. And Cole, if you don't want issues, maybe Cole should be that guy, but she probably gonna think Cole is boring. And that's unfortunate because Cole is willing to stand up to her father. Cole ain't scared of Victor. I'm like, girl, please, you got a dude that's willing to uproot. He's a college professor. He's not somebody like your daddy who's a narcissist. Because your dad's a narcissist, Victoria. You should know that. He's not Billy or JT or any of those guys who gave you the dark side. Victoria's making Shaggy go through. Listen, Bree. Hey, Bree. Bree is in the building. Welcome, girl. So, yeah, I'm like, girl, Victoria, either scoop this man up or let somebody else take him. I mean, obviously, he likes you. Y'all done slept together, but she's still hesitant. Really? She jumped in real quick with Billy. She jumped in real quick with Ashlyn, JT, and Nate, and all these other folks because there's a dangerous side to them. This guy is a straight-laced college professor who's willing to do everything for her, even simp for her, and go up against her father. And she's like, well, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Whatever, Victoria. Other than that, I think that was pretty much it this episode. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens today, what Chance has to say to Sharon, and how Sharon is going, well, tomorrow's episode. I usually watch it a day ahead. But I'm curious to see what Sharon, how she's going to answer Chance's questions, and see what happens from there, All right. Let's move on to the bold and the beautiful. I got to give my grade. So for Young and the Restless, I'll give it a B minus. So I'll give it a B minus for Y&R. Let me know your grade. Bree said Victoria should be happy a man still wants her given who her father is. Listen, Bree. Anybody that comes within any point of his children's lives, Victor is going to have a say-so. I mean, she need to chill out. Take that dude. If you want a quiet, peaceful life where that man is going to pretty much simp for you, Victoria, Cole is your guy. He ain't toxic. So, Professor Cole is a good guy. And Victoria, I think she's going to find him boring. And that's unfortunate. Because that guy is probably who you need, unbeknownst to what your father is saying. Alright, I see B's, C's. Okay, y'all pretty much enjoyed the episode. Okay, so we have Bold and the Beautiful. We continued on the conversation in the design room where we had the pizza with Elizabeth, which is now Beth. She's there on screen. She's grown up to be a cute little girl. With Liam and Hope and Carter. And Carter was like, you know what? I think maybe I need to take a step back and let y'all have some family time. And he, they tried to, Hope is giving him googly eyes because obviously she knows that Carter is interested in her. However, somebody else is interested in her too. Because when Beth decided to go and follow and shadow Carter, he goes down memory lane and bring up Beth and using Beth as an emotional connection to get Hope to remember, oh my God, we went through all of those things only for us not to be together. Liam, before the Thope storyline and after Beth, I think there's another person that you were circulating around, which was Steffy Forrester. Mr. Divided Heart. Now, granted, you were a good guy, no issues in 2023. That was all on Hope, lusting after Thomas, which is why we had Thope, right? However, you got to take some accountability, Mr. Spencer, on the fact that, some of what you were saying, the reason that y'all were not together is predicated on some of the things that the two of you did. And it had nothing to do with Beth. It was y'all choices. She chose to lust after not only Thomas, but Finn too. He chose to also sniff around Steffi. Up until probably a few months ago, he was still sniffing around Steffi. So, Waffle Boy, little puke Waffle Boy Liam, I think maybe you should ask yourself that question. That all happened only for us not to be here? Yeah. Because the two of you had other interests. And I'm not excusing Hope either, even though we enjoy every minute of it. Hope lusted after Thomas, and of course, Steffy Forrester, you have been an orbiter for. So, I'm just saying. But with them giving us these flashbacks, I'm wondering, are they setting Carter up for heartbreak? And I know me and my fellow panelists were having this conversation in our group chat. And, I don't know. Obviously, I'm interested in seeing what happened with Hope and Carter. But to throw Liam in the mix and pull on the heartstrings, and then, Beth is probably going to throw her 2 cents into it like, oh, mommy, daddy, y'all should be together. Well, we all know the rest. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm going to address what you said in a second, Sandra. But let me finish this statement. That is interesting. For him to use that as a way to try to connect, Now, I gotta say, looking at Hope's facial responses, she was looking like, where you going with this? And what you were telling me or saying, us going through all of that only for us to not be together, what am I supposed to do with that, Liam? I know she gave a look like, yeah, I remember those moments, but why are you telling me this? What you trying to do? What's going on in your head? Because I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm interested in barking up that tree. But I want to address what Sandra said in the chat. She says, has anyone noticed that Hopeless no longer have migraines now that she's no longer after Finn? Isn't that interesting? What happened to your migraines, Hope? The migraines went bye-bye? So, that's going to be interesting. Cheryl, so here's the interesting thing, because Cheryl says, what's going to happen when Ivy returns to town? I'm wondering, because on Friday, October 11th, spoiler, Liam is going to put an offer on the table to Hope. Also on that same day, there's the spoiler that Hope and Carter is going to be embraced in another passionate kiss. So the only thing I can think of is that maybe she turns Liam down. Which on October 22nd, when Ivy and Elektra rolls into town, I'm wondering maybe is Liam going to pick up from there. And I hope Steffy stay out of it this time. Yeah, Mermaid Reviews. It's probably a situation where the headaches were bad writing. I mean, she tried to phone. I keep having these migraines, Finn. Can you help me out? I don't know what to do. And now all of a sudden, she ain't said nothing about a migraine. All right, so it's going to be interesting. We had speaking of Steffy, we had a conversation with Steffy and Ridge. And I knew this was going to happen, and I said this last week. I said, Ridge, what are you going to do? Because Taylor wants you to keep this secret. But what are you going to do when you get cornered and Steffy asks you a direct question? Is something wrong with Mom that she's not telling me? And now, Ridge had to scramble in his brain to figure out what to tell his daughter. That's the problem I have with this secret. I mean, Taylor doesn't have to tell Brooke and Eric and, everybody else in LA, but I don't see a problem with her telling Steffy and Ridge. Lee knows. Shoot, Dr. Buckingham knows, who knows that she might have told Paris, which obviously she can't. I forgot, because Taylor was her patient. So she can't tell Paris. But everybody know, I mean, people close to her, the two doctors know. And Ridge know. Why not tell Steffy? She ain't got to tell everybody in Forrester. She don't have to tell Hope and Brooke and Carter and Zende and RJ and all these other people. Why not tell one more person, which is your daughter? Exactly, Gail. Secrets turn into lies. And he had to scramble himself out of there because she asked, why are you avoiding my question? You only going to make the situation suspicious, Ridge. I mean, and it's not, now that she knows that it's not, the heart failure situation. Okay, what's wrong with telling Steph? Broken heart syndrome. Okay? I mean, seriously. So now, Ridge had to scramble to try to figure out, what to tell Steph, if anything. And sure enough, Steph asked him, backed him in a corner. But that's what he get for agreeing to that. I mean, what's she gonna do? Stop. If Ridge told Steffi and Taylor found out, what Taylor gonna do? Stop talking to him? She ain't gonna stop talking to him because she loves that man. She loves the man. So why would she stop talking? I'd be like, okay, you want me? I'm gonna tell Steph I'm not lying to my daughter. What you gonna do? You gonna get mad at me? You gonna stop talking to me? You're not gonna come to Forrester Creation? Okay, cool. Your choice. I'm still in a relationship with Brooke, so I can always go back home to my girlfriend. What you gonna do about it? I mean, so anyway, I figure eventually he'll be backed into a corner. The other conversation that we had was, which to me, it was passing time this episode, which was Eric and Brooke. And I mean, we haven't seen them had a conversation in a while. It's nice to see John McCook on screen. He's looking good and healthy compared to last year this time when he started having the shakes and coughing up blood and stuff like that. But he was questioning whether or not she had an issue with Taylor being back in town. And she was like, I mean, I'm Ridge. It is what it is. I know he got his family with her. I'm okay with it. And Eric is like, are you sure? And she was like, look, I'm finna go over to the office and I'm going to give my boyfriend a kiss. And she happened to walk up on that conversation that Ridge was having with Steffy about how they need to look out for Taylor and you need to be there for her right now. And Brooke is like, now what's going on? So now you got even more questions. Yeah, Jenna, it was nice for them to bring up Phoebe. I agree. And then for, I don't even want to even talk about the Thomas character. I don't know what they're doing with that. I mean, is the character coming back? Is he going to be recasted? It's just an interesting dynamic that, is Steffy and Ridge, and that's it. The rest are all Logan related, or in this case, Eric, he's married to, Donna. So, hey, Belinda, no worries, girlie. No worries. I think Taylor has much reason to have a broken heart. Yeah, she went through a lot. However, this situation, like me, Bree, Keish have been saying for the past few years, just like with Hope and Steffy for all those years of a decade, keep accepting Liam waffling back and forth between the two of them, Brooke and Taylor has been doing the same thing. At some point, it has to stop. And you can't keep having somebody to keep bouncing back and forth. Then it's on you at this point. If you know that this man has a history of going back and forth between you and another woman for 20, 30 years, that's your fault at this point, because you need to be like, look, I can't keep taking you back. I'm not going to keep having feelings for a man that's just going to keep going back to the other side. You keep opening up the door. And that's why we call him Waffle Boy, meaning Liam, and Waffle King, because they keep going back and forth. Right now, the conversation should be strictly on her health. Ridge should not be giving mixed signals. And when he was over at the house a few weeks ago, or last month, or whatever that was, and he was stroking Taylor's thigh, and the conversations that he was having in the CEO office when Taylor came back, there is no way if Brooke had heard that, she would have been okay with that. But they keep accepting it. And Taylor is still going after somebody who clearly is still in love with somebody else. And at some point, if you're going to get hurt, you're setting yourself up for failure. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's one thing if it happened the first time. And, man, I chose wrong. This man decided to be with this other person. And they were wrong for not being honest with me. And all this kind of stuff. But 20, 30 years of back and forth? The ladies need to take accountability for that one, because they should have been like, look, I'm not dealing with you. That's Katie's issue right now with Bill. Katie is like, listen, as much as I might feel some kind of way for Bill, I don't know if I even want to go through that with you, because I know what happened a year and a half ago when you went after my sister Brooke. I know that you had feelings for me, and I know that you have feelings for my sister. So do I want to go through that? And right now, as it stands, Katie said no. Yep, and you are right, Jenna. She chose to be with Ridge knowing that he loves other women. Exactly. I mean, at some point, just like they put Liam on ice, Steffy has been, as much as we thought Steffy was going, those kisses, I'm not going to even bring them up anymore. This is probably the last time. I don't think those kisses are going to mean anything. They left them in 2023. That's probably where they're going to stay. But Steffy put a hard line in the sand at this point with Liam. Like, look, nope, I got Finn. I do stupid stuff, and that man come save me. He not leaving me crawling on my knees being pregnant and walking away from me. Finn do what I tell him to do. Finn get me out of my stupid choices and mistakes. I'm staying with Finn. That's what Steffi's saying. And at the same time, it looked like Hope decided to do something different when she chose Thomas. And now it looked like maybe we're moving into the whole thing with Carter. Bree said both Brooke and Taylor love playing broken records for decades, and they love playing the victim, and they fight amongst each other. And it's like, ma'ams, ladies, at some point y'all need to say no more, Ridge. I'm not gonna keep every time Taylor come into town, I gotta deal with this. That man took off even without knowing the truth, took off the Aspen and screwed Taylor. We saw Brooke chase him up the mountain. After the truth came out, Taylor left, and now she's back again talking about how much she loved Ridge after all of that. When this man then went right back to Brooke. Girl, please. That's on the two of them at this point. You know? That's on the two of them. So, oh my goodness. But even though, I think, who's that? Sandy says that he loves both. And I think Jenna said the same thing. He might love both of them. But unless y'all going to be sister wives or something. And I don't think they're in the right state of the United States to do that. He going to have to choose. Or you guys are going to have to choose somebody else. Bree said both of these women are grandmothers still crying about this man's stupidity. Absolutely. It makes no sense. And then you want, now, if I will say there's other parts of the broken heart thing. Of course, she's broken hearted of losing her daughter because they brought up Phoebe too. But a lot of this is predicated on Ridge. I mean, the girl had a whole health episode watching Brooke and Ridge kissing in the studio last week or a week and a half ago. That's a problem. I mean, seriously. At some point, you need to be like, look, this ain't good for my mental health. It ain't good for my physical health. This man is clearly not into me. He's kissing another woman that I've been fighting for the last 20, 30 years. And I'm about to have a health episode? No, it ain't that serious. You better go find somebody else. And yes, she lost Jack as well. That is true. That is true. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, at this point, I don't feel sorry. Maybe they should take notes from their daughters. Now, I'm hoping that, Hope does not get back with Liam, even though it's out of my hands. But Steffy is hard pressed. She was like, oh no. Finn, oh, we've been together 4 years, 4.5, almost 5 years now. I ain't going nowhere. So maybe Taylor need to look at her own daughter and find a man who's going to treat her and take care of her like Finn does for Steffy. Now, do I agree with some things that Steffy do with Finn? No. But it ain't Liam either. But he's not Liam either. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I honestly think that they should have brought a new man back for Taylor or put her with Bill or bring Jack, meaning Lee's Jack, but, we trying to find Lee a man too. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I just don't want these ladies fighting over Ridge all over again. We've been talking about this since we knew Taylor was coming back. We don't need this no more. I'm over the whole triangle of Brooke, Ridge, and Taylor. We finally got out of the triangle, hopefully, of Steffy, Liam, and Hope. Don't throw us in another one. And I'm hoping that they're not going to create a triangle around Hope either. Hope, Carter, and Liam. Let's not do that, writers. Please, let's not do that. So, we shall see, you guys. And Bree, I'm going to hit you up later. I don't know if I'm going to have the midweek chat tonight. Because there's some things that I have to take care of this evening, unfortunately. If I do a midweek chat, it will be later. So I will check with Bree and see what's going on with her because she is also in Florida as well. So hoping and sending well wishes to her to make sure that she's good down in Florida. So I will, if I don't have a live chat tonight, I will let you know if it's pushed back later, or else we'll just have one on Friday. You know, I don't know. The girl that plays Ivy, I'm not sure, you know, how long she's going to be staying. All right. So, all right. So, make sure on the way out, there's 51 likes. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you're notified every time a video is posted. I'm T from Soap Corner Talk. And until the next one, we will see you all soon. Bye, Soapies.